Good evening, everyone. Mr. Justice Khanna, Mr. Anantna, Mr. Prem Bhatia, and Ms. Rami Chabra, who is not only a trustee of the Prem Bhatia Foundation, but has also been a role model for women of my generation. I speak today on behalf of the jury that selected the winner of the Prem Bhatia Award for Excellence in Political Journalism for the year 2025. This was actually Seema Mustafa's job. She was the jury head, but unfortunately she is not here, so I speak on behalf of Seema Mustafa, a former president of the Editors Guild of India as well, who headed the jury, and R. Rajgopal, the former editor of The Telegraph, who have unfortunately not been able to make it this evening. The process of selecting this year's winner, though arduous, was an extremely pleasant and rewarding experience for the three of us. Before I announce the name of the winner and read out the citation, I would like to explain the process through which we arrived at the final name. Seema, Raja, and I live in 3 different cities, and so the discussions were all done on WhatsApp or Zoom, spread over 3 weeks in June. At the outset, we divided the 52 entries into 3 lots. I think the Environment Award had 58 entries, so we were pretty close, with the objective of each of us selecting the 5 best and citing our reasons for doing so. For the next round, we looked at the 15 entries, thus shortlisted, and selected 3 each. Just as we were readying ourselves to defend those we had chosen, we discovered to our pleasant surprise that the same 3 names had made it to our individual final lists. This made the task of selecting the final winner much simpler. Indeed, it was unanimous. Of course, we had in our initial meetings drawn up a list of rough criteria that we would adopt when looking at individual entries. We gave preference to reportage, the more granular the better, over those that mixed opinion and reportage. As members of the jury, we were extremely pleased to receive many superlative entries, which made our task that much more enjoyable. But equally, we were struck by the fact that barring a very few, a majority of the entries that made it to the shortlist were from the digital rather than the legacy media. I would like to add that this award in earlier years was among the few, or perhaps the only award, for which journalists were not required to apply. The jury selected them. Now that is not possible because of the huge presence of the digital and alternative media, which is doing such excellent work. For Seema Mustafa and me, both past winners of this very award, this is a very special moment. As I stand here, it gives me special joy to announce the winner of this year's award. This year, the jury has unanimously chosen Parth M.N. for the Prem Bhatia Award for Excellence in Political Journalism for 2025. The report submitted by Parth mostly dealt with majoritarian violence against minorities, including Muslims, Christians, and tribal people. After careful consideration of all the nominees and applicants, the jury concluded that the reports filed by Parth scored high on all key parameters: depth of reporting, presentation, language, absence of bias, and exclusivity. Parth's report stood out on 2 counts that journalism cherishes and values. He put himself at considerable risk by venturing into the ground zero of hate crimes, and he did not shy away from tracking down as well as obtaining the versions of even those accused of being the perpetrators. Parth's reporting acumen and storytelling craft helped underscore a transformation as well as a constant that are complementing each other. Excellent journalism about India is being produced in sections of the digital media that are summoning the will and the courage to take up issues that are largely ignored or covered by only a few legacy media organizations with the gravity and dedication the topics deserve. Parth showed this courage and honesty in his reportage and scrupulously used the skills of good journalism to piece together the stories of the marginalized and the victimized with eloquence and factual integrity. The jury felt that special mention must also be made of Fatima Khan, who displayed extraordinary courage and commendable journalism skills to put together a series of video reports that sought to go beyond incident-based reporting and focus on the perpetrators, their ideological affiliations, and the political structures that sustain them. This was done factually, without sensationalism, which made her coverage exceptional. The jury wishes the very best for Parth M.N., Fatima Khan, and all the other journalists whose entries turned out to be a source of hope as well as pride and made our task, though tough, very, very pleasant. Thank you.
Share a few words.
Thank you so much. Thrilled to be here. When I first received the congratulatory email for winning the Prem Bhatia award, I logged on to the Editors Guild website and looked at the names of previous winners and was obviously overwhelmed. I wasn't quite sure if I belonged in that exclusive club of journalists. They're all solid names and I'm genuinely proud to be among them. More so because I've managed to win this award as an independent journalist. In today's times, especially, being an independent journalist comes with its fair share of challenges, uncertainties and insecurities. On the one hand, you have a group of journalists that is fiercely competing with Big Boss. And on the other hand, there are journalists who have redefined beat reporting by making themselves the beat. Amidst this madness, you have to constantly remind yourself to focus on what matters. You're not the story. Nobody cares how hard you've worked to get it. It's your job, you signed up for it. And even in dark times, there are sources of inspiration. When you look at the work that journalists at Alt News or News Minute, News Laundry, Reporters Collective, Caravan, Quint, Scroll, and a bunch of others do. I'm sorry if I'm missing out on a name or two. But when you read the work of these journalists, the stories that so many of them have done for different newspapers from various small towns and villages of India, it energizes you, it makes you want to do more. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of them for charting this path. Before I leave, let me also express my gratitude to my colleagues at People's Archive of Rural India, because most of the stories that got me here were published on PARI. The dedication with which reporters and editors at PARI put out stories that hardly get any visibility sort of reassures your faith in good old-fashioned journalism. Thank you so much also to Peter Guest, the editor at Wired, and Mike Giglio at Rest of World, who've edited the other two stories and made my shoddy writing readable. And of course, a huge thank you to P. Sainath for creating that space. I remember when I started out as a journalist, Sainath was one of the biggest inspirations to me, and to stand here today and receive the award, which he's also won several years ago, is a bit of a pinch yourself kind of a moment. Thank you so much to the Editors Guild and the jury for recognizing my work. Congratulations to Jeff as well, and yeah, thanks a lot.